pretty heavily Bhakti related too, right? But then I see, the Vedanta side of the world, and I think, is Vedanta more of the Upanishad kind of side of things,
Yes.
and then
Yes.
Vaishnavism's like Bhagavatam and Gita, or
they don't lean on anything. Their leaning is on the knowledge. What knowledge? Eastern wisdom is an instrument of knowledge. So when you recognize that there is a knowledge, it gives me a cognitive understanding. It leads me to cognitive change, and it leads me to change in attitude, behavior, and conduct. Why? Because now delusion and ignorance is gone. So my approach, not only to myself but to the world, is totally different. It's a very pragmatic, very practical, no leaning to anything. Another point is very important. That is what, we are moving in a right direction. Jerry is attending all these sessions, and then she contemplates and reflects. She picks up a subject in the group session, and then she teaches to her students. And her students are overwhelmed with love and affection to Jerry. I said, don't worry, this is love and affection to me also. And she had all the tears of the joy that how beautiful is the journey of the Eastern wisdom. So I could see a great transformation not only in her, and that transformation also brings a change to the people nearby or with whom you meet or whom you communicate. Coming back to the same topic, the Upanishad says that the greatest wealth of bhakti and the highest bhakti, that is desirelessness, comes by knowledge and dispassion. So sometime you have, that is what you experience in the last 2 weeks, and especially the week where you sent me the messages. So that overwhelms you, that revelation takes place. So what happens by knowledge and dispassion? You are getting a knowledge of the Eastern wisdom, aims at self-discovery. Your mind moves into the state of dispassion. Your intellect lives in the state of dispassion, and then the knowledge is revealed from within. How one metaphor explains that desirelessness in bhakti. You might have participated in blood donation. No. So you participated in blood donation.
Yeah, I've done it before.
Yes. So what happens? Look closely. You donate the blood, you don't do anything outside, and the body produces the same amount of blood or maybe little more than it is required. So when we are talking of the knowledge in the Eastern wisdom, you continue to work on the knowledge, it leads to dispassion, and the more you live into that knowledge, how you live into that knowledge? You live by changing your attitude, behavior, and conduct. You start living with a thought, speech, and action, or near and dear ones, friends, wherever in your personal and professional life. What happens? The knowledge reveals in you. That knowledge reveals in you through your experiences, through your temperament, through your attitude, and then unconditional love manifests from inside. Like you donate the blood, nothing comes from outside, everything comes from within. Another metaphor example of the unconditional love is have you seen the well in ancient times? We all used to have well, we used to take the water out. So you don't refill the water into the well. It comes from within. So Master says, so I sent you just an email, and it just 10 minutes before it came to my mind that I should talk about this great spiritual master, women master, or she is Meera, and she has written a verse, Payu ji mene Ram Ratan Dhan Payu. So what is that? What she compares, I have found the gem, the divine treasure of Rama. So here she uses the Rama, Krishna or Shiva. You can use anything. You can use any god. So it means what she says, that this is the wealth you distribute, you share. How you share and distribute, you start living into that. That is enough. The more you live into that, the more it increases. It means you are spending the wealth. You are spending the wealth of Eastern wisdom. It increases in quantity and quantity. No wealth increases in quantity and quality. You have a bank account. You have given $5,000 to me. You have $5,000 decreasing. But so comparison for understanding. I have found this greatest wealth, the divine treasure of Rama, this priceless gift my true Guru gave me out of grace. Why out of grace? When I'm doing all the practices, I'm doing all the practices to get rid of I-ness and minus. Then from where the wealth comes, like the water in the well, like the blood is produced in the body. I'm just giving a brief account the way. Lifetime after lifetime, wealth is now mine. Once, you know what happened? 35 years ago, I was listening to one of the talk. I recorded an audio session of my master, and I was listening, and I said, wow, why didn't I understand this at that time? So I heard now, and the knowledge was revealed just a few days ago. That is what the Eastern wisdom is. You have heard it, you have contemplated, reflected, you do it again, you repeat contemplation, reflection, you continue the practice of meditation and the knowledge. Now I got the knowledge. Now this is what, the master has conveyed me.
What's interesting, the less of me that exists, well, it's kind of like you said, the flute, and then Krishna can play, right? I realized, I used to try to make this into something to gain in spiritual wealth, maybe. And now I realize that, no, the more transparent or the less I exist as a me, the more
it increases.
Shines through. It seems to manifest, like you said, it's revealed. If I get out of the way, if I can get out of the way.
I choose the topic and I said, okay. And just before the topic, some revelation takes place, and no, I have to talk about this. During the talk also, some revelation takes place. That is the beauty, that this wealth keeps on increasing. You and the Jerry moving on the higher ladder. That is what, I was so moved by her tears of the joy that this is what is happening when I teach. So David, you met the Davidos.
Mm-hmm.
David was saying, I was attending the session, and he said that everyone was full of just conspicuous silence was there for a few seconds. Beautiful. beautiful. I said, that they are my students, not your students. And she said yes. So that happens. So that is what this Mira says: no spending can deplete it, it increases. No thief can rob it. Every day it grows in splendor upon the boat of the truth. My Guru steered me across the sea of existence. You rightly pointed out, lesson that I-ness and my-ness is there. You are opening the door to the infinite love, infinite wisdom.
Well, and that's the reality too. You know, like you said, those are my students, right? But in the end, right, they're Shiva's students.
They are the Shiva students.
But you start to realize that, like,
yes,
there is
they
no
are Shiva
anything.
students.
I don't. Even my knowledge is not mine.
Yeah.
Which is why it's revealed.
Yeah, for the sake of communication. And she said yes. And then I said, Mira's Lord Giridhar. So this Mira, she always meditates on Krishna and that desirelessness, love. Mira's Lord Giridhar. Giridhar is another name of the Krishna. I sing your praise with ever increasing joy. The more I talk about you, I am filled with that joy. Filled with that joy. You see that Ram Ratan. So it's Ram is another, whether you say Ram, Krishna or Shiva. So Ratan means the gem, the treasure. So you look at it, how these great masters metaphorically explains. You can explain metaphorically because it is an abstract knowledge. You cannot see the name in the form. So look at the Rama Ratan Dhan, meaning that wealth is the Rama. The gem is the Rama, gem is the Krishna, gem is the Shiva. So here the knowledge of the Eastern wisdom, and knowledge of the Eastern wisdom and a dispassion leads to the unconditional love, what is we say desirelessness. But there is one line that strikes me very deeply: the boat of the truth in crossing the world. Why she said this boat of the truth? So Eastern wisdom is the boat of the real self, so that you can cross the samsara. Samsara means the world, and the world is the world of suffering, world of delusion, world of ignorance. So you can cross. So means that my mind is 100% married to the Krishna or the Shiva. So the ocean represents the world of illusion, attachment, desires, and repeated cycles of birth and the death. And the boat symbolizes the teaching, knowledge, righteous living, meditation practice. That is the boat. So the boatman is the teacher who passes on this knowledge to a seeker, even though he does not created that knowledge. That is why the Mira uses that knowledge. So my master used to say, once a seeker, always a seeker. Means that at least you are able to keep your ego aside, I-ness and my-ness aside. Once a seeker, always a seeker. So Mira uses in a different language. That is what the ocean represents, the ignorance. Another way in Upanishads, ocean represents the ignorance. The boat of the truth is the knowledge of the Eastern wisdom plus the practice, and the Guru possessing the direct realization. Guru points out that this is what is the so this appeals to me. We will talk about the conversation, the dialogue between Mira and Tulsidas. We discussed about Tulsidas. So we'll talk about it, their communication. They both lived in the contemporary period, and Mira was totally desperate for desirelessness bhakti, but her husband used to torture him. So she wrote a letter to Tulsidas, and then the Tulsidas sent a reply. It is in the form of verses. We will talk about it, so that will also give you a deeper, or you can Google out for the sake of understanding the dialogue between Tulsidas and Meera. The dialogue, it's a very interesting dialogue. But there are a lot of metaphors used that we will talk about it. So, Guru's teaching, that is what. So, witness consciousness in non localization is as the sky contains all the clouds but is itself untouched. The birds are flying in the sky, but the sky remains untouched. That unconditional love is that kind of a knowledge, that recognition, that you are always filled with that pure emotion, and then you see you cannot prevent it to express yourself in the thought, speech, and action. Your hurry gets worried, and you have a smile, you have a peace in the joy inside. Reacts, someone reacts, but you come out with that sense of mindfulness state, whether you can say, or you can say with the pure emotion in the bhakti, both are the same. Knowledge follows this path, love follows this path, and they both merge together. They both reach at the same level. So this is knowledge, bhakti, bhakti, knowledge. Knowledge, bhakti, that is what the desirelessness bhakti is discussed in the Upanishads. But yes, when you move into the Vaishnavite, then you have more of other rituals and the practices has been taken into faith in the provision in the spiritual sufficiency. Love in action, bhakti and service, they should go together. We should not stop it. Desirelessness in action. We discussed all details last week. Desirelessness in daily life, I gave you example. I must have pasta tonight. That is driven by the desire. So I'm aware at the subtler level. Nothing else will satisfy me. No. I will eat whatever nutritious food is available. In our daily life, on career, on profession is the same. I must get more money. I must get more money. I will do my best work as a service to the God. I don't want to tell you, but it's coming to my head. One guy stopped attending the session. A person said that now it is, we have already got it. So I lost couple of, that is how the language says, I lost couple of dollars per month. So other guy who has been attending the group session for the last 3 years, that person sent me saying that this is a gift to you, which covers almost 4 months of my what I lost from that person. It happened day before yesterday. And I appreciated that person in today's session. But how did that person had an intent to send me? And in these days, it happens. It happens. It has to happen when you live into that state. I'm just giving you. So we have.
Those things happen, but then at the same time, you're awed by the magic and the.
Yeah, you
thankful, but you don't think you gained anything.
Yeah, no,
you just see that like, oh,
it's all a blessing. It's all a blessing. You left me, it is a blessing. You gave me, it is also a blessing. You have given me, you have done it for a reason, and I have to explore the reason how to continue to treat the past. That is, continue to treat the path, continue to reach to that excellence in the journey of Eastern wisdom. That brings us to another topic. We have done desirelessness. Now, desirelessness also comes. There is another topic in the desirelessness is self-sufficiency. By connecting to the Shiva or Krishna or Rama, means my mind should be filled with an understanding that I'm self-sufficient. How come I'm self-sufficient? It is because I belong to Shiva, who is the owner of the infinite resources, who will fulfill it. Finished. I should have 100% faith. 100% faith does not come in a day. It comes by regular practice, days after days. You are living into that state. You are doing the practice. For example, you are doing the mantra. That is what brings us to the higher level of evolution, and that higher level of evolution brings the level of self-sufficiency through connected to the Shiva or Shiva connection, Krishna connection. In this case of Meera, it is Rama or Krishna connection. If you look at it, look at this verse. In the first line, Meera used the name of Rama, and in the last line, she used the name of Krishna. So she knows 100% that Rama is Krishna, Krishna is Rama. So the Shiva is Krishna, Krishna is Shiva. There is no difference between the two. So this self-sufficiency, if you break into parts, think of it. What we normally think. We think I'm a separate individual who must accumulate resources to survive. So what are the means? Bank account, possessions, social connections, skills. What is my self-worth? Based on what I own, what I possess, what I achieve, what I control. That is what we talk in the professional, in the social life. That is an attitude of a non-seeker. Relationship to the world. I have a relationship to the world. It is basically a beggar's mentality, constantly needing more from outside. Constant fear of loss, competition, and scarcity. What is the new paradigm of living? What is my identity now? I belong to the owner of the infinite universe. Where is the problem? I belong to the Shiva of infinite universe. I live into that state. So what is the security source? Divine connection that provides everything needed.
Well, what does this body really need? Not very much.
Yes.
I mean, I used to think all these things were, and you think you're in control of so many variables, and then you start to realize.
And all variables are changing constantly. They are not static.
And they're changing on their own, and they're doing what they do.
Yeah.
And,
So you see that what is the self-worth now? Based on being God's beloved child. I'm Shiva, you are everything to me. Om Namah Shiva. You are everything to me. With infinite inheritance. I am inheriting all the wealth, Shiva, that you have. Where is the problem? And what is my relationship to the world? Abundance mentality, not a beggar's mentality. Beggar's mentality is always looking for something. Now let me extract something from Michael, something from Eric, something from everyone, from the wife. So here is the abundance mentality, having everything through divine connection. Complete security in unlimited spiritual wealth. Now the knowledge is the greatest wealth. Wisdom is it. So what is that? Complete security in unlimited spiritual wealth gives me the peace and happiness all the time. And previously, there is a constant fear of loss and competition and scarcity and anxiety and duality, and a conflict is already there. You are settled. You are settled that this wealth, the more I extract, the more it will bring. The more I donate the blood, sometimes I donate the blood every 3 months, 4 or 5 times a year. But in those days, I did not know what is happening. It was just out of, okay, this is good social thing. But now, that is how I use this metaphor. That you don't refill the blood. It comes from your body on its own. That is the beauty. That is the beauty. So, in this case, I have already told you the story of my master who used to go to the cremation ground. It is because of his 100%, 200% faith in the Krishna. Okay, I will spend two weeks in this cremation ground. I will not go out. I will not seek food. I will not ask anything from anyone. Let me see God. Now it is your examination. You pride. No. Now you have to give examination. You have examined me in many ways. Now it's your turn. And I told you that lady brought the food. Extreme level. That is the extreme level of abundance of love towards the Krishna or any Shiva. That, no, don't do that, but I'm just giving you, begging face.
No, even if I find my mind has, I say, Lord, please dispel this ignorance. Through your grace, I hope this ignorance goes. And sure enough, I don't need to do anything else.
Yeah.
Right?
So there is a metaphor many masters uses, even it is in the Upanishad. A fish born in the ocean somehow gets convinced it needs to find water and spend its life desperately seeking what it is already swimming in. It means that Krishna is available all the time, in all the location, in every person, in every situation, in every event. Oh, do I have that level of understanding and awareness? That is what the love, desiredness, love is there. That is there. Right? So, I'm already in the infinite water. Can I say that Krishna is there with me? Shiva is there with me. We are, by the knowledge and understanding, we are reaching to the higher level of dispassion. In the very beginning, I told you, desirelessness in bhakti comes from the knowledge plus dispassion. Knowledge leads me to discernment of what is needed and what is not needed, and once we drop what is not needed, it comes to a state of dispassion. In that dispassion, we reveal the knowledge. We reveal that knowledge. Let us take, it's a little bit challenging, but if we don't challenge our ignorant mind, then it will not work. Financial security without money. That is one example I always give. At this, you have already reached to that point, you and Jerry, constant anxiety about bills and retirement and emergencies, self-worth tied to bank balance, holding money out of fear, compromising values to financial gains. We don't do all these things. Rather, God who feeds sparrows will provide what I need. Secure regardless of financial fluctuation. I have a self-worth. Why? Because I belong to Shiva. Shiva belongs to me. I have that trust, faith, and awareness all the time. So, what happened? Whatever the situation, event has to take place in the world will definitely take place. But as a seeker of the Krishna and the Shiva, I remain peaceful. I extract the opportunity in every problem. And I see that as a process of evolution. This situation, negative situation coming to my life is because there is some corresponding ignorance is still present in me. Not only that is preventing me to realize the higher state, but also it will remove if I can claim it as an opportunity. Another way, nobody grows the body vertical. Now I have reached to that stage of senior. So aging process continues. It is a law, natural law. Nobody can stop. Nobody can stop. But using the mind and the intellect to recognize and realize the Shiva is a choice lies with me. I can remain the same, having suffering even at the age of the 80. I may have a sensuality, the same thing I'm running after, power, possession, and pleasure, even at the age of the body, when the law of the nature says, now you are at the age of 80. It is, you are no longer attractive. You have the baggages on your face. Now is not the time to take a Viagra. It is the time to devote on Krishna. It is a very natural process. Adolescents, Sophia, your daughter, and other adolescents, and they are undergoing those hormonal changes, so they need that. So we just look at them and guide them properly. Finished. But not at this. So that is what the master is saying. Even you take away social status, desperately seeking approval, recognition, social media, self-esteem depends on others' opinion. Oh, now he is a rich guy. He has, he has a luxury car. Competing for limited social position, fear of criticism or rejection. I joined a couple of months this Gilbert Chamber of Commerce. And within 3 months, they all are talking of the same stuff. Even I paid the subscription of the whole year. I said, no, I'm not joining them. I'm not going to talk. No communication at all. You are not talking of your own evolution. No. So I am beloved by the creator of the universe or the Shiva. Natural dignity is required in the journey of Bhakti Yoga. Respectful to all without needing their approval. And then focus on giving rather than getting recognition. I give happiness, I get happiness in return. So why shouldn't I spare happiness, joy through teaching and coaching the Eastern wisdom? So it becomes a kind of service. In every group session, I just think that my master is manifesting you in all you. Let me start expressing, Master, what you have taught me. Now I am expressing. Correct me if I am wrong. That becomes the coaching. That changes my attitude. Another part is very also knowledge and the wisdom without any certification. You don't need any certification. Your certification is your attitude, behavior, and conduct. Your certification is how much you have changed in dealing with the personal life, professional life, social life, family life.
well, what little experience I have gives me a lot of insight into, the behaviors of others. I feel like, even though it's nominal, but
Yes,
it's significant. It inspires. My inspiration grows daily by leaps and bounds.
very good. That
uh,
should grow, grow, grow. Now you see, I still have a reason to that wife is going to influence the husband because the wife is living into that love. But it means now she is totally open. Otherwise, in yoga studios, you see that every teacher is very limited individual. She doesn't want her students to go to anyone. Very typical. Why typical? Because I'm limited in my knowledge. I'm a limited individual. I'm keeping that ego side by side. So it will backfire. So I already have a beggar's mentality. So when I have a beggar's mentality, I cannot overflow with love. I cannot have a non attachment. I cannot have an emotional security. I cannot have an attitude of serving in relationship. Non-seeker cannot understand when I say, my master is manifesting in you all. Let me express what I learned from the master. So you see that how many times I use my master all the time in all the action, in all the thought, speech, and action. So where is the problem? Where is the fear? Why should I be scared? Why should I need an emotional security? I'm already getting an emotional security because I'm expressing that knowledge to my own master in the different name and form. So it means what happens? It increases your emotional connection to the Shiva. So yes, Shiva is manifesting in the name and the form of the Hana, in name and form of honey, in the name and form of Sophia, in the name and form of employees, in the name and form of anything and everything. Sorry. In that process, what we are doing, I am getting connected to the infinite source of everything. So, how my behavior changes, that is what we need. My behavior focuses on sharing, collaborating, trusting, and serving. And what is the result? Result is the peace, natural attraction of resources, and deep satisfaction. The more you give, come to the knowledge, the more you give this knowledge, the more secure and abundant you feel. It never happens in any wealth. It never happens. That is what a brief understanding has been explained. In America, we have some program of so called, what's it called? Law of attraction. It is a slow, but we are entering into the law. Consciousness magnetism, intuitive guidance, effortless action, natural support. We start experiencing that there is a natural support. And that is the reason that every great king and the kingdom in India have one master as the head. They always used to seek their guidance. They always used to seek their guidance. In every kingdom, they're not the Muslim invaders, but real kingdoms in India. So that redefines what wealth actually means. You have a lot of temporary objects. I'm using your phrase in a different way. So either I have a lot of temporary objects or I'm being connected to the Shiva all the time. That is my wealth. Can't be stolen. It cannot be taxed or lost through the market crashes. It increases the more you share it. It provides security in all circumstances. It brings genuine fulfillment and the peace. But once I have gone through this, I have some experience, then I can move into the highest bhakti. Can't be stolen in text. It solves the problems of the self-worth also. It solves your problem of the self-worth. I am valuable because what I have or achieve belongs to the Shiva. I am valuable because I am Shiva's beloved child. Let me think. Aurobindo uses that phrase, so I am bringing that Sri Aurobindo phrase. So how it works? It leads to inner transformation. I'm transformed. Well, what is that transformation from ego confidence to the Shiva confidence? I need not to be confident because there is a Shiva present there. So I have all the confidence in the Shiva. Let me think, speak, and act. Let me express myself. Let me do my job. Let me increase my skills. That's all. Why I increase my skills? For the Shiva. I don't increase my skills to earn more. So what happens, that emotion, the pure emotion within you, that starts manifesting, and that's when it starts manifesting, we have those indications. We have those indications. As you are feeling now, so those indications will inspire us to continue the journey. My master used to say that I don't. Do you know that I don't own even a single penny? So we used to say yes. He said that is why I am a king. I need not to worry about the loss of it. So it means that is the state of dispassion. He was an epitome of love also when he used to talk. So I never understood in early days, but gradually evolved, and then I said, oh, this is what he is saying. This is what he meant. That I don't even own a penny and I'm king. Why? Because I'm in the highest state of a dispassion where I see the entire universe belongs to the Shiva, hence it belongs to him. You have nothing to prove. You have nothing to fear. You have infinite resources to share. Service becomes the natural expression of gratitude. That is why the service is attached to the highest form of the bhakti. That is what you are serving yourself in a way while serving others. Why? What that service? You are expressing the Shiva in all its forms, in all the locations, in all your relationship. That is the real service. That is the real service. From begging the world for happiness to sharing happiness with the world. There's a big difference. From anxiety about survival to confidence in thriving. That's why you see that, these great masters don't own anything. Chinmayanand doesn't own anything, and look at the way he speaks and talks. Looks like a lion.
Well, and it's funny you realize I mean, I'm nothing special, but I think like the material world, I have no interest in playing, but it's easily won, right? Like I confidently know if I want to be a billionaire, 100 millionaire, I could do it. I have zero interest.
Zero.
But the confidence in the, you feel like that, right? You're already
Yes. You are already there.
Yeah.
You have everything. You have everything.
Totally different.
So it's totally a different, yes, it's totally a total reorientation, total transformation. When I know that I belong to the owner of the infinite universe, I belong to the Shiva, I become naturally generous, fearless, peaceful, powerful. It had been only 3 months in my, did I tell you before, it had been 3 months only in United States, in New Jersey, and in a rainy season and it's snowing. A co-op fined me. I said, this is not my fault. So you will not pay? I said, yes. So you have to face the court? I said, yes, I'll face the court. So within 3 months I was there. So lady judge was sitting there. So yes, what you do? I said, I put this into order. I did not name it. I said, I put this into order. What do you mean? I again said, I put this into an order. It just came naturally to me. What exactly you do? I said, I put this into an order. So in fact, I was pointing to the cop, but very gently. Oh, so do you take care of the mind? Yes. Are you a counselor? I said, short of. Do you help people? I said, yes. So she started laughing. So I knew that it is the divine intervention. In those days, I didn't have a lot of money. So he said, she said, $149 fine. So I cannot forgive $19 court fee. The rest is admonished. The cop was looking at me, and I said, thank you, cop. You helped me to meet the judge to explain. She didn't ask me any question. She said, okay, I'm done. I cannot admonish that court fee. The rest is 119, because both India and the US are democratic countries, so you need not to worry about it. You can fall. That was a good incident. So what is happening now? See the other part of it. You are only focused on Shiva all the time, in all the location, in all the. So what happens? You have a freedom from the material desire. But why you have a freedom from material desire? Because to have a material desire, to acquire it, your mind has to move to 10 different things. My employee, my machine, my tool, my customer. Then I have to go, I have to talk, I have to find the right payment, I have to create an invoice, I have to Joho, I have to work with Joho. Oh my goodness. And everything, it, everything can easily be done. But my mind is still running after them. We already know.
I find the mantra to be so powerful.
Well,
yeah. I'm like, oh, you want to think? No.
No need.
A chance for thinking.
So freedom from that is the freedom from the material. It doesn't mean that I'm not earning. It doesn't mean that I'm not eating. It doesn't mean that I'm not gaining the professional expertise. Now my mind is very clear. I can think the other ways. Wandering around, I'm just rephrasing it. Wandering around and no feeling of wanting. Think of it. They both align together. Wandering around, the mind is wandering. And why? Because you have because you have a feeling of wanting all the time, the way you wake up in the morning until you sleep. You wanders around, but now you have no feeling of wanting. So they both have a synthesis now. They are integrated together. It doesn't mean you are working much better than those people whose mind is wandering, whose mind is constantly wanting, who is full of anxiety, reaction, and duality. You are doing the same thing, but inner self is totally different. What this freedom does not mean, it does not mean no apathy, no, not apathy. It does not mean not activity. It does not mean not emotional numbness. It does not mean not irresponsibility. It does not mean withdrawal. We try to explain these things based on the mind. But here we have already transcended the mind with that emotional love. So it is not apathy, it is not inactivity, it is not emotional numbness, it is not irresponsibility, it is not withdrawal. Sometimes I tell my mind that today I will not think of anything of the Shiva and the Krishna. After an hour, Shiva comes, Krishna comes.
That would be impossible to do, I feel like.
It is impossible. It is. No, let me, I got some idea. No, let me write it down. Let me write it down. So, even, midnight, I just wrote it. I wrote it and then I converted this into a concept to pass on to my seekers. Finished. So it means you are always ready to give yes. The more you give, the more you gain. I told you, 40 years ago, what I learned, I did not get the meaning at that time. But now when I listen to my master again and I said, this is what this is. This is what it is. So what actually happens, what I'm pointing you, choiceless action. Revelation comes, you start doing it. Spontaneous movement. That is what the bhakti is. Yeah, Vaishnava it have explained in a different way, but I'm explaining totally in a different way, the way I have learned from my master. He said that is also okay. That is 100% okay. But you have to reach to this level, a spontaneous movement. Somebody told me in the New Jersey Methodist Church that I don't believe your gods and goddesses. So I looked into her and I smiled. I said, I also don't believe. Why should I? Choiceless action, spontaneous movement. But do you believe Jesus? She said yes. I said, my Jesus is my Krishna, my Shiva. Where is the problem? So first time I see my Shiva is crucified for me, to teach me, to guide me. She could not understand. She was a priest, but she cannot understand that. And I didn't understand. I said, you need not to understand this. Deeper understanding, deeper understanding, deeper understanding is there. Deeper understanding. That is where this desirelessness bhakti takes us. And it comes, you have a material desire, for example, must see all the famous sites or trips, is a waste. Why it is a waste? What exactly you go there at the sea beach to see it? 5 elements that you can find at your home. So you have a very subtle perception. It doesn't mean that you don't go. Your honey says, no, let us go. But internally you are full of joy. Okay, I am expressing the joy for the sake of her, so let us see that. But internally, you get more absorbed into meditation while going on vacation. But you don't have that any inclination of going into vacation. My anxiety about missing experiences, you have anxiety about getting the best pictures. Sometimes, our people claim, oh, we have gone there, but I didn't take any picture. And these pictures are lying in your shelf, they are dying on their own. What kind of a person you are? Comparing their trip to others on social media, that is why you are going on vacation. Okay, for the sake, there's a fashion. It is a fashion street. Are you planning for a vacation? Yes, I'm planning for a vacation. I tell live people, I'll go to California, I'll go to New Jersey to meet my daughter, then I will plan for Hawaii, and then I just close the discussion. Finished. Where lies the secret? You enjoy whatever is unfolding every moment. What Shiva is unfolding every moment, you enjoy that. That is your greatest vacation. It may unfold in rain or delays. It may unfold where you are sitting, where you are working. You have equal pleasure in famous sight or simple local interactions. You have no photographic compulsion. Present to actual. You are present to the actual experience. You're grateful for whatever the journey brings. So it means all your vacations are going simultaneously while living in a present moment. You have a relationship without emotional neediness. You don't need any emotional connection to anyone because you are already connected. You are already connected. You give love freely without expecting specific return. Enjoy people's company without needing them to behave certain ways. You have equal peace whether alone or with others. These changes should come in the desirelessness, work without career, ambition, anxiety. You are eating without food craving. Eat anything and everything, whatever you like, and etc. My master used to talk about that a lot. You see that there are certain attitude we awaken to, guidance from the higher intelligence. Action come from the wisdom, intuition and divine guidance rather than personal cravings. You like a perfectly tuned instrument that plays beautiful music without personal agenda. You become an instrument of the Shiva. That is why we have to chant that mantra of Namah Shivaya all the time. Natural responsiveness to what each situation actually requires. Your motivation is service. More a movement motivated by love and service rather than personal acquisition. It will come, it will go. What is temporary, it will come and go. Like a mother caring a child. How long you are going to take care of the Sophia? Sophia will say, now I will take care of myself, don't disturb me. I have found my, what? People say, I have found my soulmate.
She thinks she has already.
So yes, you are no longer a soulmate. I'm talking to you. You are funding me, financing me. I'm just taking care of you. I am appreciating, that is all. So what happens? Natural rhythm comes. Movement follows organic timing rather than forced personal schedule. You are aware of your agenda, what you have to do tomorrow, but it's okay. I know I will do it. It will happen. When the time comes, it will be done. Why to think a lot about it? And that gives you a tremendous unbound energy in your life. Unbound energy, enormous energy. Clarity is there. Fearlessness is there. What actually happens? This statement I'm repeating again. Without desire, I would become inactive and useless. Wrong assumption. What is the reality? Desires actually limit and distort my activity. Freedom from the desire enables perfect activity. A perfect activity. I'm here talking to you, I'll be talking to someone else. What is the discovery? What we thought was motivation was actually limitation. True motivation comes from love and wisdom, from dispassion, not from wanting. Not from wanting. That understanding should be settled into 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 the mind and the intellect all the time. That is what the Buddha found. Buddha found suffering comes from craving and attachment. That is what he spoke about in four. What is that? Four fundamental truth. Yes. Uh, he said four natural truths or four fundamental truths, and that the world is suffering, that there is a cause of the suffering, that there is an absence of suffering, and then there is a way to end the suffering. So four fundamental truths. So Buddha's insight, suffering comes from the craving and attachment. That is what he meant to work. Complete freedom from the very mechanism that creates suffering. Complete freedom. Ability to experience everything without suffering. So it is desire driven. Spontaneity is not, it is absent. It is impulsive in nature. Desire driven spontaneity is present in your pet. The moment you stand up, the dog also stands up. My master will give me the bite. It is another thing that I think I am the master of the pet, but the pet knows that I'm the master. Fact is different. Fact is the truth is totally different. Because you are taking care of it. One creates problem and regret, the other creates beauty and the benefit. That is what exactly true nature of the action. When the true nature of the action is there, you are in a limitless love, and that limitless love leads you to the desirelessness in bhakti. So we have covered the practical method. No, we have covered the characteristics of the bhakti. Now we will cover next week practical methods of the bhakti, advanced understanding of the bhakti, and the process of bhakti development, and obstacles to the bhakti, the essence of the bhakti according to this. These 3 and 4 topics we will cover shortly in our next session. That is all.